Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. It's time for dinner. I've left this purposely late because it's been really hot today. Plus, I've been sick this last week and I'm just trying to get over the final bits of it. So, I've been trying to rest and put off standing up for most of the day. Anyway, it's a stir fry, so we're going to grab our wok. We need to marinate the meat in this dish, which is chicken, for an hour. So I'm going to pop that into marinate and then we can get the rest of it ready. So this is what we're cooking. It is called ginger chicken with toasted sesame seeds. We're serving it with rice and it should serve 4. Here's what we need. If you come on in, I'll talk you through the ingredients. We've gone from last week, I think, was about 15 degrees. We are in summer, by the way. It's over 30 degrees today. So we've basically had a large jump in the temperature. Reason why I'm feeling sick. I normally do get very run down this time of year with everything going on. But anyway, I've been pumping myself with some weird medication that I got from the chemist and some other cold and flu tablets. So I'm not coughing as much now, which is really good. My voice is still a little bit croaky and I've been trying to obviously not do a lot today, which is great because this is my day of rest. So ingredients, they are as follows: 500 grams of chicken breast, which we're going to cut into strips. We've got to do that. 2 tablespoons of peanut oil, 1 leek, which we are going to thinly slice, 1 head of broccoli, which we're going to cut into florets, 2 carrots, which we are going to thinly slice, half a cauliflower, which we're also going to cut into florets, 1 teaspoon of fresh ginger grated. My ginger that was in the fridge looked like it was about to come back to life. So unfortunately, I've got to use the one in the jar. So I'm just going to use a teaspoon of that. 5 tablespoons of white wine. I feel like there's not 5 tablespoons in there. So what I'm going to do is use as much as I can and then just add to it with water. Maybe surprised, that might be 5 tablespoons in there. 1 tablespoon of corn flour. That is that one there. 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. Those ones. A tablespoon of water. You obviously get that from your tap or a bottle of water if you don't use tap water. Rice to serve. I'm just going to use the long grain rice, which I cook in the microwave. Our marinade is going to be 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm just going with the light soy sauce. And 4 tablespoons of water. Whenever you marinate anything, do not use a metallic dish or plastic because it can take on weird flavors. You are best to use a glass or ceramic one, so that is why I'm using the one that I normally cook slices in. Other than that, you will just need your wok, a stirring stick, and a timer for an hour. So let's jump right into it. I'm not going very fast because I won't be even eating this tonight, but this will make a delicious lunch tomorrow. So first of all, let's grab a chopping board and a knife and cut up the chicken. So I had my butcher deliver this to me at work the other day, and what I do is I pop it in the freezer and then I bring it home, so it sort of freezes before it gets defrosted. So it will be defrosted. So I recommend you buy the chicken the day you're using it, or if not, straight into the freezer like I've done. I am going to give it a wash just because it is summertime and it's just so humid. Okay. Did ask for 500 grams. I don't know how much is here. I don't normally weigh it. He just does what's right for me. But anyway, a bit of extra chicken won't go astray. I'll probably have the cats come in soon. There's a bone there. So watch out for bones. Okay, so we're just going to cut it into strips. And if you hear some meows, you will know that it is the ginger cat. There you go. There is cue the meows. Yes. Yes, it's chicken. All right, so I'm going to cut this up and I'll be back. Okay, so we've got 4 tablespoons of water in our marinade bowl. I've washed the chicken, which I've cut into strips. I'm just going to pop 4 tablespoons of soy sauce in here. All right, so that's in there. Now all we need to do is just pop the chicken in. Okay, so in that goes. We're going to pop a timer on for an hour. So cover this with cling wrap and we'll get chopping up the rest of the veggies as we go. Okay, so while we've got 50 minutes to go, that gives us plenty of time to get the rest of it ready. I'm going to put everything in jugs with water just so I can have a bit of a wash. So normally I like to use 1 different mat per thing and a different knife. So start with the broccoli. So we just want to cut the florets off. We don't want them big and chunky. And if we put it in cold water, we're going to revive it a little bit as well. All right, let's get it into this jug here. So you just cut it, cut the end off, and then cut your little florets up. You don't really need a lot of broccoli. It's more just to get it in there. Okay, so it's nearly an hour up. I've done the rice. It's in the microwave. I've cut up the leek, which is soaking in some water. I have cut up the cauliflower, which is also soaking in some water. You saw me do the broccoli at the beginning. I have peeled and sliced the carrots. I measured out the wine. I spilt a little bit of it into the cup. So there was 3 tablespoons and probably a half. And then I've added water and I put a bit of extra water in. So I don't know. There's a bit of extra liquid in there anyway. So we're not too far off with the wine at the level that we needed it to be. I've mixed the 1 tablespoon of corn flour with the 1 tablespoon of water. I've got the peanut oil in the wok. All I need is our stirring stick and we're going to crank it up and let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to cook it on the usual hot plate at the back. So that's the oil in there ready to go. You need a slotted spoon, which is the spoon with the holes in it. So let's grab one of these, bring this over. And you don't keep the marinade because it's had chicken in it. So you are going to discard of that. So if any stuck to the chicken, that's fine. But basically all you do is you just take it out and in it goes. Okay. I'm looking forward to this for my lunch tomorrow. And whenever you cook a lot of things and leave them, they're always better the next day as well. You can cook this in batches if you wish. I'm just going to pop it all in. Normally I'd get the electric wok out, but as it's late and I'm just exhausted, I've still got more stuff to do. I'm just going to do it this way. So we're going to get this started and then we will drain the leek and pop the leek in with it as well. You can pop your leek straight in with it as well. we're going to cook the two together. And I've just strained this. It's always good to wash the leek. This one didn't have it, but there's been leeks that I've brought before that have had a lot of dirt in them, and it's pretty gross. But this was a good one. So give it a stir. With chicken, you've got to make sure it's cooked through as well. And with me, because these are going to be portions that are going to be warmed up, sometimes I prefer not to cook things to their full potential, because unfortunately they're being warmed up in a microwave, and when you warm anything up in a microwave, it cooks it. It sort of ruins it in a way, but I've got no other way of warming it up while I'm at work, so it's the way I do it. So give it a good stir through. Chicken and leek, yum. All right, so we're going to stir fry that for a few minutes, and then we'll be back. So once we get to this stage, we want to be adding the rest of the vegetables, which is, of course, our cauliflower. I just hope everything's going to fit in my wok now. Our broccoli. And our carrots. They will wilt down and all will be fine. Okay. I'm not going to stir it, otherwise everything's going to go overboard. But I'll try and push it down a little bit. Should have got my electric wok out. There's more room in it. Not doing it now. All right. Add in the wine and the gin. Excuse me, and the ginger. 1 teaspoon of ginger. Use fresh if you can. As I said, what I had in the fridge was left over from a while ago, and it didn't look very appetizing, so it's gone. It's gone to the worms. All right. So ideally, try and put a lid on the top and turn the heat down. I don't have a lid to sit on this one, and I don't want to turn the heat down because I want everything to try and wilt down. So I'll see you in about 5 minutes. I've improvised with a lid that fits most of it from the large saucepan, because otherwise the veggies, if you have a look, they're just starting to do their thing now, but we sort of need the lid on so that we can get a bit of steam going. So this will work perfectly, and you can just move it around. Okay, so gradually add the paste to the stir fry. Just try and stir it in. Okay, this will just help thicken the sauce up slightly. So just keep cooking it until everything's cooked. Veggies are done to your liking. Some people like stir-fry vegetables really well done. Others like them crunchy. That's entirely up to you. But as I said, with mine, it is going to be getting warmed up, so therefore it doesn't really matter if mine's not done. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to the other side of the kitchen, pop it into a container because it's going in the fridge overnight, and then I'm going to show you the toasted sesame seeds, which are going on top. I'm just popping it in this I'll pop it in this container. This is going in the microwave, and then I will dish it up for servings tomorrow. So in we go. Shit. In you go, stir fry. All the veggies in. All the juice. In. Delicious. So if you're feeling a little bit sick, because people think you only get the flu in the winter, I can honestly tell you I've had the summer flu a couple of years ago and it really sucked. It was horrible. Touch wood, I've only had the flu I think once or twice in the winter, which is bad enough. I mean, that's the time of year when you get sick anyway. But when you go from 15 degrees, get a little bit wet, to like 30 whatever it was today, over 30 degrees where I am here, it's insane. All right, so that's our stir fry. Yum. We're going to bring over the sesame seeds. So all I did was I popped these in the little grill. If you saw a couple of episodes a few weeks ago where I showed you how I make fancy cheese on toast, this is the same grill that I use, and I thought better to try and use it with this. So we just wanted our sesame seeds slightly toasted, which is what I've done. So all you need to do is just sprinkle that over the top. They've all gone in one spot. Of course they have. But anyway, so dish that up. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been ginger chicken with toasted sesame seeds. And I hope you enjoy this. And I should hopefully be dropping an episode on Christmas Day. But if I don't, for you that do celebrate it, I hope that you have a happy and safe one. And stay safe and don't overeat and don't do anything silly. I'll catch you very soon. Bye.